Okay. Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again, I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to part 63 of my Let's Play Doki Doki Blue Skies. So, in the previous episode, we finished the final good ending with Natsuki. Well, the final ending, comma, which was with Natsuki. It wasn't like there were multiple good endings with Natsuki, which is how that sentence sounded before. So we are technically done with the game, but like I've said many times already during my time playing Blue Skies, it really sucks that there isn't a Monika route, because there was a lot of interesting stuff that was being hinted at. So that's what we're going to be looking at in these. Oh, I don't know how long it is, but this episode / these episodes, we'll see what Monika has to offer, because apparently they know that players are disappointed by the exclusion of Monika. So here are the Monika scenes that unfortunately couldn't make it into the completed mod. So we'll start off with Monika's first exclusive. Why do we have Yuri's thing? And also, why is a completely different soundtrack that I've never heard before? At least I don't remember it. But yeah, why the hell do we have Yuri's text box? That's a bit strange. I guess that everyone already has their pre-established routines here. I'd kind of like to talk to someone, but I wouldn't want to bother anyone either. It's always a bit hard to fit in with a group that's been together a while. At least when you first try to join. The difference between the levels of formality usually make things a bit awkward. Familiarity makes things a bit awkward. Although I can't complain much, these girls have been far more welcoming than they needed to be. Plus, I sneak a peek at Monika and Sayori, who are still talking animatedly. Sayori is chattering on, waving her arms around energetically to make some sort of a point. Meanwhile, Monika looks on with a thoughtful expression. I catch a few snippets of that conversation. We're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs though. I guess the Literature Club really doesn't have too much going for it at the moment. But then, I've always been part of the Go Home Club myself, so I can't speak much about it. It's truly a stroke of luck that the one club I managed to join had Monika presiding over it. To be fair, she's way out of my league. But it doesn't hurt to get to hang around the second year's idol. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think anyone really knew that she was the president of the Literature Club, myself included. Which is kind of strange, considering how she's always been the forefront of all her activities. I'm pretty sure that she's the captain of the girls' tennis team, and as she said yesterday, she was the president of the debate club last year. Jeez, I just realized, president of a huge and active club as a first year? Only Monika could pull something like that off. But then she quit the debate club for this one. I guess that she didn't... What? Publicize? I guess they didn't publicize it on purpose to avoid anyone joining the club just to hang around her. Not a bad idea, even though this club just barely makes the cutoff in its number of members. Each and every one of these girls is enthusiastic about literature. Quality over quantity, after all. Just goes to show, Monika's truly passionate about this club. Wait, I'm one of those members now. Gotta step up my game. That is, if I had one. Speaking of games, I pulled my phone out of my bag and turned it on, looking around to check if nobody's paying attention. They're all absorbed in whatever they're doing. Good. Now I can check my game for the daily rewards. Maybe even finish a quest or two while I've got nothing to do. Read the book Yuri gave you, you moron. I really should be... then again, unless Yuri hasn't given you that book yet. No, that's not true, because Yuri gives you the book on the first day? Or does it in Blue Skies give... In Blue Skies, Yuri may give you the book tomorrow in Blue Skies. I can't really remember. Anyway, I really should be doing something literature related. Yeah, exactly. That was my point. But... Well, to be fair, this game is like half visual novel, half RPG. Emphasis on the novel part. That's literature enough, right? I'll just do something productive after one quest. One tiny, simple quest. Just one. Oh, I thought it said Archvile for a second. I was like, what? There's one more Archdevil to slay. I thought he said it said Archvile there. I was like, holy shit, is there a Doom visual novel RPG, or at least a Doom reference? But no, it's an Archdevil. Come on, you could have said that it was an Archvile. Yes, I see Arch and then the VIL from Devil, and then the E there. So I was like, oh no, close, very close. One more Archvile to slay. Then I'll have enough skins to finish this godforsaken fetch quest and have the horns for the trapper quest down the line. Plus, I got some demon eyes from all that senseless killing. If you use it, it'll spawn the Eye of Cthulhu. Oh, the crafting possibility. Oh, the crafting possibilities that opens. I swear that there used to be more Archviles spawned in this area though. Don't tell me we're hunting them to extinction or something. Oh, don't worry. They'll. I mean, I know they can't resurrect themselves, but I'm pretty. If endangered with the extinction, then I'm pretty sure the Icon of Sin will do something about that. I'll just have to wait a bit for them to respawn, I guess. Or maybe I should just switch over to my main account and trade for those last skins I need for this on this account. Mark! I jump, then guiltily look around, and my phone flies out of the window. Although that I said that phone flies out of the window because I imagined like I got scared and then threw it out. But an even funnier scenario would be to like dispose of the evidence. Like, Mark, like my very first reaction is to fucking yeet my phone out of the window, and then afterwards I was like, hang on a minute, what the hell did I just do? That would be quite funny though, like just fucking throw that thing across the entire room as fast as possible and as aggressively as possible, and only then you realize like, hang on a minute, that was my phone, why the hell did I do that? A little time seems to have passed, and after Monika and Sayori have apparently finished their conversation. I really have no self-control, do I? Hey, Monika! What's up? I thought you joined this club to get into literature, not play games on your phone. Jeez, I'm not trying to be your mom, but you need some discipline. Yeah, sorry, I just got caught up in it. It's sort of addicting. I mean, they kind of designed the game to be addicting, so... Excuses. She probably thinks I'm some kind of no-life otaku now. Not that she's wrong, but... Well, if you're not going to be doing anything constructive with your time right now, why don't you help me out? I'm sorry, but every time now that she's, hey, let's spend some time with me, I just have to think of actual canon fourth wall breaking Monika, who is like, you really don't spend any time with me. And let's spend some time with Monika, just Monika. I've got a ton of work to do today, and I'd really appreciate it. Having to do work isn't too bad. Bro, damn. having to do work isn't too bad of a payoff for getting to see Monika's irresistible smile. Besides, I'm not doing anything anyway. My game can wait, probably. Sure thing. Oh, Monika, if I'm now dead on that quest because of you, you're gonna have to repay me at some point because that is important. What do you need me to do? As I say that and stand up and stretch, wincing as my legs tingle from the pins and needles. Well, for one thing, could you hold these papers for me while I get out my laptop? I nod as she hands me a thick sheaf of papers. Oh man, I really don't envy her position. She must have to do so much paperwork. Monika sits down in the seat next to me, pulling a sleek sliver laptop out of her school bag. I thought that laptops weren't allowed to be used in school buildings. Normally they aren't, but I talked to my teachers and they gave me permission to use it after I proved that they could trust me with it. Why is that? Is that a Japanese rule? Because here in the Netherlands you're allowed to... I guess this is high school, and I guess in high school that kind of makes sense. Well, in Dutch high school you don't need a laptop because there's a huge computer area. Or at least in my high school there was. But in college, everyone has a laptop. But you know, when the teacher stands at the bottom, you know those college dorms? No, college. I guess you could call them classrooms, where, you know, like there's the teacher all the way at the bottom, and then there's like seats in a semicircle that go like further up all the way. But when you're in one of those rooms, everyone has a fucking laptop. Like literally everyone. And then it's your own responsibility whether you want to actually pay attention to the lesson or whether you want to waste time playing video games on your laptop. Like, they don't really care. It's just like you're an adult, technically. Yeah, you're 18 when you're in there, or 17. So it's your own responsibility if you want to play games or not. No, oh yeah, I just read that. Never mind. It really does make work a lot more efficient, you know? Man, you really aren't a normal high school student, are you? Yeah, it's just a matter of setting good precedent for yourself in the teacher's eyes. Anyway, you're not one to talk. You're not allowed to use cell phones in the school buildings either. I mean, can you say that's a rule broken when there's no one around to enforce the rules? That doesn't even make sense. You know, like the tree falling down when there's no one to hear it thing. Monika gives me a stern expression at first, but it quickly breaks down with a giggle. No wonder that you never got into literature. Mark, giving the time you spent playing around. Hey, I do some work, sometimes. You know what they say, always hire lazy people because they'll finish what they have to do in the quickest and most efficient way possible. Or something like that. You see, that's why you don't get these privileges. You have to work hard to earn the things you want. A sigh escapes from her lips as she powers on her laptop. I have to admit, working hard isn't all that fun though. Don't you ever do random fun things in your free time? Like any hobbies, besides tennis, I mean? A hint of a blush slowly develops on her face. Like what? Sorry, I forgot that you probably don't have a lot of downtime. But yeah, like playing video games, watching shows, drawing. Oh, reading too. Anything that acts as a stress relief. I mean, I'd have to say reading and writing then, given that I'm leading the school's literature club, and playing the piano as well. Well, those hobbies are pretty fitting for a top student. I sneak a peek at Monika's laptop screen once she's logged in. The background looks like a default one, with swirls of gentle blues and greens filling the screen. No classic Windows XP background with the green hills. There aren't many icons, just the typical internet and productivity ones. There's a single folder labeled school, breaking up the default icons. Suffice to say, her desktop is exceedingly sparse. You don't use your laptop much, huh? Not really, mostly for schoolwork and things like that. I'm basically the total opposite. I can spend hours surfing the internet. An almost wistful expression appears on her face. You don't have much going on for you, do you? Hey! In terms of schoolwork and clubs and stuff, I guess not. Which is another reason why I'm glad that I'm in the literature club now. It's stopping me from just whiling the days away. Gives me a purpose. I'm really glad for that, Mark. That gentle smile just melts my heart. Oh, then you haven't really paid good attention to the smiles of Sayori and Yuri, protagonist. To think that my efforts could be such a good influence. Not that I'm trying to go on an ego trip or anything, of course. It's just nice to see benefits of my work. Don't worry, I get what you're saying. But you can't just work all day, you know? That much stress could start impacting your health. That's true. She sighs again, a heavier sigh than that just radiates exhaustion. But what am I supposed to do? I can't help if there's a lot going on. Well, let's just take it one step at a time, starting now. You can take a break right now, after all it's club allocated time anyway. Eh? Come on, you're supposed to be doing club activities anyway, not work. Well... She gives me a doubtful look and plays with the end strands of her hair. Alright, I guess you're right. What do you want to do then? Even though she's supposed to be taking a break now, Monika looks pretty miserable at the thought of not working. Is she really that much of a workaholic? Hopefully I can cheer her up. Your laptop's from a pretty good brand, but I'm guessing you've never played games on it? Oh, am I literally getting Monika into video gaming? That's pretty funny. That's right. Are there any types of games you like playing? I'm not really into games. Well, what's the last game you've played? I've never played any video games before. What? Huh? Really? You think I'd lie about it? Oh crap, she seems kind of annoyed now. Sorry, it's just that video games are such a huge part of my life that it's kind of a shocker to realize that it's not a part of everyone's life. Monika sighs yet again. I wonder how many times I'm going to make her sigh today. But you've never played any type of video game before in your life? No arcade games or visual pets even? Just say Tamagotchi, man, everybody knows what you're talking about. I'm afraid not. I just never really had the time to get into one of them. Well, what would be the first game to introduce to someone? Oh, I guess Minecraft is an interesting choice. Maybe for Monika, The Sims, or maybe like a city builder or something. I think that would be a good game for Monika. Like City Skylines or something like that. Or SimCity, or you know, it's like one of those types of games. Because especially for like a workaholic like Monika, all that city planning would, I think that would be quite fun for her to do. Or maybe like The Sims, so that she like creates herself and gives herself the workaholic trait so that she can become, you know, I don't know, a firefighter or something. Or yeah, or Minecraft. I guess Minecraft would also be a good choice. Although, you know, well then again, Monika is, yeah, you do need, well you don't need to, but being a bit creative would be nice. But yeah, you know, like for Monika that would maybe be a bit more difficult, because I feel like Monika prefers a game where there is a clear purpose or something. Or maybe like an actual game where you have to follow a certain path, like, you know, like Half-Life or something. I mean, that's a first-person shooter, so I guess that's not really something Monika would enjoy, but... Or maybe she will, but not like as the very first thing she ever should play. Although she should play, because half the fucking... If you ever play games, like you're supposed to play Half-Life. You know, it was named it was given the title the Game of the Century for a reason. But yeah, like I feel like Monika prefers like a game where there's like a set objective or like a set direction to go. You know, like with a city builder, it's simple. You have to build a city, you know, that's the fucking point of the game. So, but yeah, with Minecraft, of course, there's no point at all. It depends on your lack of creativity, which forms the boundary, you know? Like where your creativity ends, that's where Minecraft ends, pretty much. So, you know, like... I feel like Monika... She could get into that, or she could really enjoy it, but for the very first thing she should do, I don't really think that's a good idea. Anyway, her parents are strict too, apparently. Which we kind of already knew by all the hints that she dropped during me playing all the other routes. I've never had to completely introduce anyone to the world of video games before. The prospect of doing so is exciting yet frightening. Well, I'm sure that there are a lot that would suit you. There's a ton of reading intensive and story-driven games out there. There are probably even poetry-related ones too. Monika raises an eyebrow, shooting me a skeptical look. Look, hand over your laptop and I'll show you. Don't worry, I won't wreck it or anything, I promise. After a slight hesitation, she allows me to take over her laptop. Alright, what to start with? In the end, I settle on downloading an... A what? Otome? I guess it's a Japanese word, so I'm guessing you have to pronounce it like that. Game for her. What does that mean? Google, help me out. Oh Jesus, so many notifications about bullshit. Fucking random apps and fucking random football matches that I don't really care about, but I turned the notifications on anyway. Alright. Google. to May games. It's literally the first suggestion that comes up. Games is a story-driven based video game focused on women. Oh, okay, that's why he chose it. Okay. In general, one of the goals next to the main goal of the plot is developing a romantic relationship between the female and different male characters. Okay. Yeah, okay, so literally from Wikipedia, an otome game, otome gameu or something, literally maiden game, is a story-based video game that is targeted towards women. Generally, one of the goals besides the main plot goal is to develop a romantic relationship between the female player character and one of the several male characters. This genre is most established in Japan and is mostly made up of visual novels and simulation games, particularly dating sims and life simulation games. Okay. Okay, so it's targeted to women, so I guess that's why he chose it. I haven't played many of these, considering that they're basically dating sims geared towards women. Okay, yeah, exactly. But Monika might get a kick out of it. I still think that a city builder would be a better option, but alright, that's just me. It's a fairly silly one too, where instead of guys, you date cats. It's the first game she plays. Don't make it too weird. This is the sort of stuff that's like, this is like tier 2 stuff, you know? Like first you have to play a little bit and then you can go into weird stuff like that. Not even anthropomorphic cats, just regular old cats. I load up the game and watch Monika's expression change to one of bewilderment as a glittery lavender title screen featuring photos of cats fills the laptop's display. A gentle, tinkling melody sounds from the laptop speakers. Nekuful boyfriends? I grin at her and begin the game. What'd I just get myself into? Something extremely fun and life-changing, obviously. As we read through the opening dialogue, I notice Monika's expression slowly relaxing. A sparkle appears in her eyes, as the comedy and absurdity of the game starts to get to her. She even starts circling at some lines, although I can tell that she's trying to suppress it. But as we continue, I realize that she's nearly leaning out of her seat to look at the laptop on my desk. Yeah, let's move our desks together so that it's easier for you to see. Ah, good idea. Wait, I'm literally doing what we did with Yuri, but then instead of a book, it's a laptop. I slide my desk up to Monika's and move the laptop so that it's between the two of us. Oh, this is Monika's CG for it? Oh, this is a work in progress, sorry. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you just need more shadow or whatever, but yeah. This is the general look of it. Pretty funny though. By the way, I've played through this game already, so you can progress the text yourself now. Besides, you should probably read way faster than I do. Ah, thanks, Mark. That's pretty thoughtful of you. Again, it's like what we did with Yuri, but then the other way around, where Yuri says, yeah, I'm reading... I probably finished the page faster than you, so you can just, you know, turn the page on your own time, because I will already have finished it, so, you know. Now that we're sitting so close together, we're practically pressed up against each other. I can't help but think about how warm she feels against me. Sneaking a peek at her face, it doesn't seem she's realized the situation we're in. Or maybe she's just used to it. After all, it wouldn't be surprising if she had a lot of experience with love. In fact, there are plenty of guys who would kill to be in my position right now. So maybe this is totally normal for her. Come to think of it, this might be totally normal in general. Maybe I've just been isolating myself from everyone so much so that I've been missing out on a regular high school life. I really didn't want to end up handholdless and kissing this high school graduate. But is it really possible that someone could like me in that way? Well, I should probably just focus on the here and now instead of thinking about depressing things like that. At any rate, Monika's doing that right now. She's completely absorbed in the game. Haha! What is this choice? How am I supposed to choose between Yuta and Sakutaro? I'm really glad that she's enjoying this. I don't know what I would have done if she ended up hating all video games. Just goes to show, seemingly perfect students are people too. You know, when you suggested that we play games together, I didn't expect you to show me a weird dating thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same here, Monika. Hey, I thought that a visual novel would be a good way for you to dip your toes into the waters of gaming. It's funny too, and I figured that the humor could help with your stress. Well, you figured correctly, because this is actually really funny. Anyway, more importantly, whose rides are you going after? Like, who do you want to romance? They're not real people, so it's kind of hard to say. Just pretend they are real people. Well, I think I have to pick... Oh, Jesus. Kazuichi? I guess that's how you say that? He's really kind-hearted, and it seems like he's the type to listen without holding any judgments. He's gentle yet strong and reliable, so you get a feeling of comfort from him. Not to mention he's really smart too. So I'm guessing that that's your type then? Monika's cheeks faintly reddened at my words. Yeah, wouldn't you like to know? Either way, you have good taste. His ride is pretty interesting. Hey, don't spoil anything. Alright, alright. Just watch out for all the flags then. Flags? Yep, there are events and lines of dialogue that have heavy foreshadowing. For instance, if Kazuichi, I'm just guessing that's how you pronounce it, told you something like "you'll never leave me, will you?" that might be a death flag. Or at least something will probably happen in the future to separate the two of you. Well, that was an easy quest. Don't set flags. I see. You'll never leave me, will you, Mark? Huh? You better watch out your impending doom now. There's not a line I ever expected to come out of Monika's mouth. That's not how it works. Well, that's kind of how it works. Monika just set a fucking flag there. The death flag pops up for the person who says the line, not for the player. Or me, I guess. Yeah, my bad then. Well, she just triggered bad luck then. That's what her flag was. It's like saying, well, that was easy. No, don't say that. How hard can it be? Don't say that. The line was really too cheesy though. I could barely keep a straight face while saying it. To be honest, I wouldn't mind if Monika said that kind of thing to me more though. Not a romantic type then? Wouldn't you like to know? Is that your phrase, Monika? Wouldn't you like to know? Trying to be the mysterious type then, huh? Hey, I'm not a visual novel character, alright? Well, Monika, about that one. You can't just box a person into an archetype. So you say... Oh, so you say. Let's just focus on the game again. Sorry, Mike, I totally lost track of the time. We should actually get back to sharing poems now. That's alright, I forgot about the time as well. I guess that's a mark of how engrossing the game is. The conversation wasn't bad either. Yeah, glad that my route isn't too boring. Honestly though, I'm really happy that you like the game. Yeah, thanks for showing it to me. I need a laugh, and a silly game like that was just perfect. I like to think that I have a good sense of humor, and its writing hit the nail on its head. Does that mean that I have good taste then? Maybe? Well, shall we get going? Monika nods, but then pauses a little. Hey Mark? Sorry that I was a bit short with you before. If I seem irritable sometimes, just know that it's not anyone's fault. It's just easy to get stressed with all the responsibilities I have to deal with. It's fine, really. Everyone has their off days. Well, thanks. Okay, everyone. Let's all share our poems while we still have some time left. I haven't really thought about it until now, but Monika's kind of reserved, isn't she? She's definitely not shy. But I think that she puts a lot of effort into maintaining a certain image. I get the feeling that it might be hard to get to know her true self. Okay, and then that would have been the end of the day, and then, okay. Monika's second exclusive, let's get going. Hey Monika, what are you up to? I approach Monika, who's sitting at a desk and doing some sort of work as usual. She responds to me without looking up. Hi Mark, I'm just finishing up on some paperwork. I slide into the desk beside her. I'm guessing that it's for the club? Finally glancing up from her paper, she smiles sheepishly. These are actually unrelated to the club. Monika, didn't we just talk about taking... I thought it said talking again, I was like, huh? Didn't we just talk about taking more needed breaks than yesterday? I know. So this is what happens when you write a poem from Monika then, I guess. These are really important though. They're forms you need to fill out as class rep. I won't have time to finish them at home today, so I'm just doing them now. How much do you have to fill out? Not much more, I'm nearly done. We lapse into silence as Monika's pen continues to move down the page. She's using a fountain pen. A dark blue ink shines brightly out of the stark whiteness of the paper, dulling as it dries. I wonder if I shouldn't have approached Monika, given that she's so busy today. Yuri has her head in a book, Natsuki's pottering away in the closet, and Sayori disappeared somewhere. That's a bit suspicious. Where the hell is Sayori? I'll just stay here for now. I don't think my mere presence would be that bothersome. Alright, I'm done. Oh, I was expecting you to have more to do. I did say I didn't have much more to do. Right. What are you gonna do with your newfound freedom then? Not so fast, I still have to turn these in. Wanna come with? Sure thing, where to? Far be it for me to turn Monika down. The faculty room. After you then. We stand up and head for the door. Yuri, since Sayori's off gathering supplies... Oh, she's gathering some... Okay. Oh yeah, she's grabbing the poster paper and stuff, isn't she? But now I'm not with her. Yuri, since Sayori's off gathering supplies and I'm stepping out for bits, you're in charge until one of us is back. Startled, Yuri looks up from her novel like a deer caught in headlights. I'll do my best. Thanks. I shoot Yuri an apologetic look and follow Monika out of the classroom. Yuri doesn't seem too happy with her new responsibilities. Oh, she'll be fine. Why didn't you put Natsuki in charge? Well, for one thing, Natsuki's doing her own thing in the closet. That sounds weird, Monika. Don't phrase it like that. And for another, Yuri's not unreliable. I guess she might have trouble talking if a stranger comes to the classroom. But I doubt that anything's going to happen while we're away. Alright, makes sense. Yeah, Yuri is a good leader. I mean, she may not think so herself, but she can. If she puts her mind to it, she can be. We find, a corner in the hall. Also, why the hell is the handle of the door on that side of the door? I don't know, that's a bit of a random question, but I'm guessing it's a sliding door? Because if it's a normal door, then that makes no sense, because that means that you can't open that. The door doesn't swing open like that, but there's like a sort of bar in the middle. But I'm guessing it's a sliding door. But alright. Monika seems to anticipate each turn a few steps ahead. I don't think it'd be remiss to assume that Monika spent a lot of time running errands to and from the faculty room. Speaking of Natsuki, what's she even doing in the closet? I think it's been mentioned before, but Natsuki keeps her manga collection in the club room. Apparently her dad is prejudiced? I don't know how to pronounce that because I'm having a brain fart. Prejudiced? Prejudiced. I think that's it. Against manga or something. Anyway, have you noticed that the manga in the bookshelf is gone? That's because Natsuki relocated it to the closet. Is it manga banned from the school premises? I know that it's out of sight now, but even so. Oh, I was able to argue on Natsuki's behalf to the club advisor. I wasn't the debate club president for nothing, you know? Ah, right. Man, I wish you could have argued for me all those times the teacher took away my manga. The difference between you and Natsuki is that she doesn't read it in class. And I've never heard you comment the literary values of manga before. Fair point. While we're on the topic of unconventional forms of literature though, have you played more of the visual novel I showed you yesterday? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting me to finish it? Monika's guilty expression causes me to quickly leap to assuage her conscience. No, of course not. I was just wondering whether you... I was wondering where you were, so I wouldn't accidentally spoil anything. Oh, alright then. Consider it as always, Mark. Ha, it's nothing. So you haven't played any more from the game then? No, I haven't. Well, I'll just tell you that there's more to the game than it would lead you to believe. Oh? How so? There's actually a darker side to the game that you unlock after you find all the normal endings. It sounds like a sort of parody of Doki Doki Literature Club. Once you finished it, I'd recommend that you replay it for that extra depth. Interesting. Yep, that dark side is actually part of the reason why I chose that specific game to show you. I guess it kind of shows how games aren't just mindless forms of entertainment. There are plenty that have more depth to them when you actually pay attention. I really dislike it when people write off games without trying them. Appearances can be deceiving, and most of the time it's just people's prejudices getting in the way. Well, Mark, you're more like Natsuki than I thought. Huh? Come on, you just gave me a video games are literature spiel. Huh? So I did. Well, it's what I believe in, so don't worry, I'm thoroughly convinced. And I agree with your central premise. People's preconceptions often narrow their mindsets. Many people automatically express a distaste for literature and poetry without really trying to get into it as well. It's not boring if you try to figure out what the author is trying to say, nor if you try to appreciate all the techniques the author used to say it. I guess that is your writing tip of the day? Ha! I won't let you get off that easily. Save your game. Just wait until we share poems for a good one. Save your game. I know still. I know that you installed a mod, but I'm still self-aware. Well, I guess that was my gaming tip of the day then. Even though it didn't really have anything to do with actually playing games. I guess that it's a universal thing, appearances being different from the content. Yeah, well, that's literally the whole fucking point of the original Doki Doki Literature Club. A cute game that turns out to be a horror game. You could say that it applies to people as well. Most people are made up of many different layers. Yeah, like an onion. Well, there are probably more poetic ways to put it. But yeah, like an onion. We share a chuckle as we approach the faculty room. I'll be right back. I lean against the wall as Monika slips through the doors. And as she said, it's not long before she's back, this time without papers in hand. Everything good? Yep. I don't know what I would have done if I'd had to do it all over again or something like that. Haha, I don't think that you'd ever have to worry about that. You never know. If I let my guard down and become sloppy, I think that your sloppy work would probably still be better than my best work. Besides, even if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. There's nothing wrong with starting over. Better to do it right the first time, though. You wouldn't want to waste any time after all. Well, that's true. Anyway, shall we head back? Fine by me. We started walking back the way we came, slower this time. Although Monika still walks with purpose, it seems like a weight has been lifted from her shoulders, at least momentarily. She's not in so much of a rush anymore. What's up? Oh, I was just wondering what all the clubs are up to right now. They're probably busy preparing for the festival. It's a good opportunity to showcase all the talents of the club, as well as recruit new members. That's true. It reminds me, is our club going to do anything for the festival? Don't worry, I was going to talk about that during the club meeting today. I can't spoil anything though. You have to wait until then to hear about it. Alright, alright. Actually, you want to check out what the other clubs are doing in that case? You mean to spy on them? Think of it more as inspiration. Better well stolen than badly thought of. A mischievous glint appears in her eyes. Oh, I skipped it. I couldn't look. You might as well scope out the competition. Yeah, it'll be a secret mission for the ages. So which club do you want to visit first? Let's look at the track team first. I'm curious to know what they do, what they could put together for the festival. Sounds like a plan. Why is there no music? We turn around to head in the opposite direction. Different school, parts of the building thing. Proper English sentence as well. As we walk through the halls, alternating patches of golden sunlight streaming in through the windows and cool shadows fall over us. One moment warmth, the next slight chill. Our footsteps echo through the halls, at once lonely yet somehow comforting in its departure from the norm of bustling noise that usually fills the halls. A comfortable silence settles over us as we walk. It's a far cry from the banter between us when we were walking to the faculty room, but the silence almost feels more intimate. Through the windows I can see the baseball team practicing in the distance. The nearly setting sun bathes everything in a golden orange glow. Soon it will be dark and the noise of the city will return with the nightlife. Why are we staying on school for so long? Is that normal in Japan? But for now all is quiet, peaceful. I used to seldom stay after school of my own accord, but now that I'm doing so, I have to admit there's just something about empty schools. It conjures up an almost indescribable feeling, like time has stopped somehow, especially in the afternoon glow, as if the empty school is captured in the snapshot of a sepia photo. The faint echoes of footsteps and distant doors shutting from those who are left seem like mere ghosts of the past day. I guess that makes Monika and I ghosts too. If only we could just abandon all responsibilities and drift away. Well, that's just wishful thinking. Do you stay after school a lot? Well, I've always been in clubs, so... Oh, right. I was just thinking about how it's peaceful when schools are empty. Yeah. It's a bit lonely, but at the same time, having more people around would ruin the peaceful feeling. Yeah. I've always thought that the golden hour was beautiful as well. The golden hour? It's that time right after the sun rises and before the sun sets. What? Right after the sun rises before the sun sets, where everything is tinted by yellows and orange. Oh, right before it rises and right before it sets. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, right before it rises and before it sets. That's kind of like a big... Like, if it's one continuous thing, but no, it's like the one moment right before it rises and the one moment right before it sets. That's what she means. Ah, so like, right now then. That's right. I wish that it lasted longer. But nothing gold can stay. That's pretty poetic. Depressing too. Yeah, I didn't come up with that myself. It's a title and last line of one of Robert Frost's poems. Ah, I see. I guess that explains why it's poetic. He sounds like an interesting guy though. I've got to check out his poems sometime. His poems are really interesting as well, haha. By this time, we've reached one of the school's back exits. Oh, this is also an image that I never saw. As we step outside, a cool breeze ruffles my hair and makes the ends of Monika's ribbon dance. It's kind of chilly, isn't it? It is nearly sunset, not to mention we're in November right now. I wonder if we'll have a white Christmas this year. I hope so. I just love snow. Shivering, we make our way towards the track where the track team's club room and the sports equipment storage shed are close by. Oh, that reminds me. Isn't the tennis team doing anything for the festival? We are, actually. I'm class rep and president of the literature club though, so the vice captain's taking over those duties since I have to manage 2 events already for the festival. That makes sense. You'd be swamped otherwise. You can check out my class's cafe during the festival, by the way. Only if you promise that I won't get food poisoning. I'll personally pay your medical bills if that happens. We quiet down as we reach the club room. However, even though we're quiet, the people inside the room aren't. The track team is as boisterous as ever. So much so that we can even hear snippets of the conversation from outside. There seems to be an argument going on inside. Although, to be honest, I can't tell whether I'm hearing happy or angry outbursts. It's just the way the track team is, loud. Monika raises an eyebrow at me, and I reply with a shrug. They've got a lot of energy, huh? Well, they are the track team. We slowly approach the door's window to peek inside. But before we can reach it, the door flies open with a bang. We flinch as the quiet is suddenly shattered by the voices coming from within the club room. Oh, hi, Emmy. A petite girl wearing striped stockings dashes out of the club room, turning her head to yell back at the team's members. Well, this isn't any girl, this is Emmy, right? Whatever, you guys figure it out then. I'm going to hit the track before it gets totally dark. She flings the door shut and turns towards the track, nearly running into us. Oh crap! Sorry, I didn't see you guys there. She looks kind of familiar. Yeah, she's in my class! What the fuck? It's fine. More importantly, is everything alright in there? Oh, them. Yeah, they're fine. We're just arguing over festival things. Were you guys about to knock? Kinda. Wanted to take a peek at what you guys were doing. A sparkle appears in the girl's eyes. Are these new members that I spy? We were just a bit curious. Curious about the team, right? Since you're gonna be new members. The girl suddenly seems to be much more intimidating with her overbearing excitement. Well, in that case, I'm at your disposal. Ask me anything. Monika and I exchange glances. In that case, what is the track team doing for the festival? Oh, about that. Well, you guys heard them in there. We haven't really decided yet, huh? But I'll have you know that whatever we do will be really good. If everyone's as enthusiastic as you, I'm sure that it will be. The girl sighs, her mood seemingly dampened a bit by Monika's words. That's the problem, not all of them are so passionate. Man, I wish there was a whole team of me's. Anyway, that's why we need more go-getters like you two on the team. I don't want to join the track team, but I feel like I'm going to really disappoint these girls if I don't do it. Well, what do you mean? Why did I keep pretending like I don't know this girl? She's in my class. I feel like I'm being swept up in a hurricane of excitement with her. Wait, I have the literature club though. Must resist. Oh come on, it's not that hard. It's a fucking track team. Nobody wants to run around for fun. My apologies to any enthusiastic athletes out there. I'm sure that you'll be able to convince new people to join during the festival. Especially if you're the spokesperson. Thanks. Oh shoot. Sorry, I gotta go get changed so I can run before night falls. I'll see you at the festival. The girl runs off with a wave and smile. Somehow I feel really drained after talking to her. Yeah, too much excitement? Yep. Let's head back. I sigh once we're back in the school building. Safe territory once again. No sports for me. Who was that girl anyway? I think she's a 3rd year. No bullshit! I guess they just use the same sprite for her, but it's still weird that they just make me think that's a different person, even though it's not. They made a whole ass fucking sprites for that guy with green hair that was annoying during the festival that we never saw again afterwards. I mean, we walked past him once. Or like twice in like a route or something. Like I believe during Yuri's route or during Sayori's route, we walked past him and then we saw him and like, ah, fuck you, and then that was it, you know. But they made an entire sprite for him, only for him to say 3 lines or something, and then go. But then they make me use the same sprite as Emmy for that other random girl. Like, the hell? If I remember correctly, she's won a bunch of awards for track. Yeah, I guess she's got a right to be so enthusiastic then. We're heading back to the club room now? Actually, is it okay if we take a look at the light music club too? They're the club that I'm most interested in at the moment, aside from the literature club, of course. Sure thing. Monika leads the way to the music room. It was mentioned the other day that she played the piano, so I guess she spent a lot of time in there too. However, the room is completely quiet when we get there. Guess they're not having a meeting today. That's fine, let's go in anyway. Hey, piano. She slides the door open and as she speaks. The room is actually quite large and spacious. A variety of different instruments are stored in the room, and there are plenty of chairs lined up in neat rows. In the corner sits an elegant-looking grand piano. Since the light music club isn't meeting up today, let's make a little music ourselves. What do you mean? Come on, Mark. With a smile playing on her lips, Monika grabs my hand and leads me over to the piano. She sits on the bench and pats the empty space beside her. Work in progress, sorry. Okay, so this is the second, what's it called? Second fucking yeah, I don't know what it's called, CG or something. When I sit down, I realize that we're close enough for our shoulders to brush against each other. That is, we're close enough together, too close together for me to fully relax. Do you play any instruments? Huh? Oh, no, not really. My dad tried to get me into playing the piano actually, but his attempts kind of fell flat. I see. Yeah, sometimes I wish I was more serious about it as a kid. Then I would have had at least one talent by now. Well, you can learn with me right now then. Yeah, I guess you are right. She smiles at me as she lightly glides her fingers over the keys. Do you remember anything about it? Yep, I remember stubbornly refusing to practice and frustrating my father. I feel a bit guilty about the younger me's behavior every time I visit his house and see his piano. I remember where middle C is at least. I position my hands the way I was taught to as a kid, and struggle to recall more from within my murky memories. I was never really good at reading music, but I can't play ear either. So I guess you can treat me as a total newbie to this. Yeah, well, I don't happen to have any sheet music on hands anyway. I'm no expert at it either though. I only recently picked up the piano, so I can't play much. I really like practicing though. You could say that it's kind of a therapeutic for me. That makes sense. I mean, the music can be really soothing. Monika's fingers start drifting across the keys again. The piano is really versatile too. I can be slow and methodical if I want, or fast and spontaneous. It's really just a nice outlet for emotions. More so than poetry? You can't really compare the two. But there are some things that you can't describe too well with words. Things that you just have to feel to get. Monika closes her eyes as she slowly blinks away through a scale. She turns to look at me once she's done. Isn't it crazy, Mark? How humans have somehow evolved to want to create? Recreate. How people are able to create extract something out of nothing? Yeah, I suppose so. I don't really know how to respond. This is me speaking to Yuri all over again. I guess it's kind of unique how humans are able to build up on other people's progress as well. Just like how you're using an instrument that someone else invented to create sounds that have never been heard before. Yeah. This is how civilization was born, huh? Yeah, well, it is mostly how a lot of the wonders of the world or those types of buildings were built. For the pyramids example, I mean, they're ridiculously old. They're like 4,000 years old, those things. So all the way back then, there were already people that were like, hey, you know, like they thought that it was important. Somehow they thought that it was they just wanted to do that. Hey, our great pharaoh is dead. Let's build a fucking giant triangle. Why? Just cause. Oh, sure. And then they did it. Her hands move lightly, lithely, over the black and white keys as she picks out a melody. It's quite simple, but that only adds to its charm. Why don't you try and playing something? I don't know how to play anything though. Come on, it's just the two of us in here. So it is. Doesn't matter if it's any good, as long as you try. So you say. Let's play a duet. Just follow my lead and play from your heart. Write my way into his heart. Remember, I'm a beginner too, so it's not like you'll have a hard time following along. You say that, but... No buts! Monika starts to play slowly, but deliberately. She raises an eyebrow at me, and with a sigh I put my long-forgotten muscle memory to the test. See, the sudden flurry of euphonious notes bursting forth from my fingertips visibly shocks Monika. Just kidding. The discordant noise that sounds from my clumsy fingers causes Monika to recoil a little. To say that this was a bad idea would be an understatement. I told you that that was bad. I have to admit, I expected that you'd remember it a bit more. All you need is more practice though. Right, well it's getting kind of late, so we should hurry back. I suppose it is. Yeah, well, otherwise it would be kind of sad if we just left Yuri in there. And Natsuki too, and I guess Sayori has already returned too. Monika slowly rises as I quickly shoot to my feet, embarrassed. But in my haste I trip over myself. Ah! Ah! Bam! The first thing I'm aware of is the throbbing pain on my forehead. Whoa, hi Monika! The second thing I'm aware of is the pair of brilliant emerald eyes only a few inches away from me. I instinctively jump away from her. My face begins to heat up. Oh, what happened? You kind of knocked your head together there. Oh, you kind of knocked our heads together there. Crap, are you okay? Yeah, I'll be fine, probably. I'm really sorry, Monika. Are you sure you don't need to lie down or something? Mark, you're always more energetic after head injuries? I'm fine, really. Actually, I'm more worried that we won't have enough time now to share poems. So let's hurry back to the classroom. If you say so. But I'm gonna keep a close eye on you. Tell me if you feel dizzy or have a blurry vision or anything like that. I said it was fine, didn't I? Still. Let's just hurry back. You make our way to the classroom at a brisk pace. I don't think people with head trauma are supposed to do that. How hard did we hit our heads? But in the end, we make it back to the classroom in one piece. It seems that Sayori is already back as well. Monika rushes to the front of the classroom to gather everyone's attention. Okay, everyone! Meanwhile, I return to my seat and try to steady my breathing. Somehow, I don't think either of us will be bringing up what happens anytime soon. But for now, I should make an attempt at clearing my head. After all, it's poem sharing time. Alright. Yeah, I still don't know what those are supposed to be, but alright. Alright, and then I'll end it off with Monika's Sunday scene in the next episode. Alright, because I've already been recording for almost an hour. Hope you almost enjoyed it. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.